Pocket Preceptor. Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of the My Pocket Preceptor podcast. Tonight, we're doing something a little bit differently. We are going live, and we are going live because I want to provide some real life scenarios. Not only real life scenarios, I meant to say live interactions with you all. So I know a lot of you are used to seeing us in the setting where we're interviewing new nurses and we're also interviewing advanced practice nurses. But in this setting tonight, I wanted to go ahead and give you my 3 tips on different ways that you can generate some income as a nurse. So especially being in healthcare, oftentimes as nurses, we are the primary breadwinner in our family. So many times we may be the ones who are actually bringing in the money and making most of the money, whether you are single or have responsibilities, whether you are married, right? A lot of the times we are the primary breadwinners, especially with my group of friends, although, we are not all single, but it doesn't really matter. Most of the times we are often the primary breadwinners for our families. And legally, we can only work 16 hours a day. So it's very important for us to be aware that physically we can only work a certain amount of hours. In each state, you can only work up to 16 hours a day. Even though there's 24 hours in a day, we cannot work 24 hours of those days. And honestly, after my third or fourth shift, especially if it's a 12-hour shift, we are going to get burnt out and we are going to be tired and we're going to not want to do it, even if it's a bonus shift. So we have to really be creative in how we're thinking about different ways to generate an income, especially with the holiday season coming around. We are going to have more responsibilities or may feel the pressures of more responsibilities to participate in different activities. That's going to require a lot more money, especially with Halloween coming around, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, right? There may be a lot of things that is going to pull additional income from a budget that we may not already have enough. So I'm going to be talking about 3 different ways that you as a nurse right now can start to earn some additional money. The first one is to become a nurse preceptor. So if you've been a nurse for, I'd say, a year or more, you have the basic knowledge that you can pass on to a new to practice nurse and be a preceptor. Different institutions may have it where you can be a part of their, they can do like a class and teach you how to be a preceptor or teach you what things you need to look out for and things you need to ensure that the preceptee or the mentee is meeting certain metrics. I know the institution that I worked for, they had a PowerPoint that we had to go through and review and made sure that we were meeting the expectations of the institution. So you can go ahead and talk to your manager. You can also talk to your nurse educator about different ways on you becoming a preceptor on your floor. Oftentimes, the way that you can make money from doing this is that these preceptorship often come with a stipend or a bonus for you for doing those services. So they may give you perhaps $2 an hour additionally for precepting a new employee, or they may give you a stipend at the end of the term. Most of the time, the preceptorship is generally 12 weeks. So perhaps one of the bonuses may be given at the end or the completion of the preceptorship. So go ahead and talk to your management about additional ways that you can provide teaching. Also, you can do in-services. I know a lot of times on the floors, they may have a new product that is coming in. They may have like a new Foley catheter or a new IV setup, and you can be a champion for that particular product. You can be a champion and go ahead and institute that on your floor and then teach them how to use it. And you can even perhaps tell your manager that you would then do maybe some analysis of how that's being incorporated into the culture and into the everyday practice for the nurse. So these are different strategies that you can use to generate extra income for yourself where you're not having to work so hard at the bedside all the time. Another way that you can go ahead and generate some extra income is to pursue certifications. So it's not necessarily going back and getting a formal education, such as a master's degree or a postdoctorate or something like that. But this is where you are getting a specialty certification in areas such as critical care. So you can become a CCRN. It can be in emergency nursing. It can also be in nurse leadership. And then also, these are very, very good for you to do because it's going to provide an opportunity for you to become more marketable on your floor. So if you are working on a stroke unit, which that's the type of floor that I worked on, a lot of the nurses became stroke certified, right? So they had their certification in being a stroke certified nurse. And with that, they were able to get, I think, $5 additional per hour. That is really, really um, boasting to your paycheck if you're not doing anything physically different other than studying, taking the certification, and then getting additional rate. That could be a way that you can give yourself a nice little bonus and then also market yourself and become more valuable for the institution. Another thing that you can do also is to pick up extra shifts, which we know this all too well. As nurses, as medical professionals, we know this particular way of making money all too well. At least I could speak for myself. When I was in my early 20s and was, had very little responsibility outside of myself, I didn't have a home at the time, I didn't have a family. I was picking up those overtimes like Saturday nights, especially working night shift, then you'd be able to make a differential. I would also do that sometimes on the holidays, especially with the seasons that's coming up with the holiday season. For you can be strategic and pick up extra shifts on Thanksgiving night, especially working night shift. I would have family dinners and then like an 11 p.m. shift where you're still making your time and a half. But also you're able to spend time with your family. So being strategic with picking up PRN shifts, that's definitely a tried and true way of generating income without doing anything differently other than picking up additional hours. As I said before, we are totally familiar with that. But I challenge us to look at different ways to generate income for ourselves. And that is going to be in the realm more of entrepreneurship and being a nursepreneur, which is one of the things I'm highly promoting, especially in my book, What I Wish I Knew Sooner as a Nurse. I really think I would have been better manager of money if I had learned these skills earlier on in my nursing career, being strategic, starting businesses and things that interested me and things that I was passionate about. If I'd done that much earlier, I'd have more money in the bank. I'd still be happy. I would just have more money in the bank. So then I'd be able to offer myself and my family more experiences. But with time, that is already here. But different things that you can do in regard to being an entrepreneur is consider doing excuse me, a consulting business, right? Consider starting a health and wellness coaching business where you are doing consultations, whether on weight management, fitness plans, stress reduction. I have a dear friend of mine, actually, she's my cousin. She started a company on how to prevent burnout for healthcare professionals. So just showing people different strategies in reducing their stress, in reducing their comorbidities, and then helping them to live healthier lives. In addition to starting a consulting firm, you can also go ahead and create a medical educational platform, which is what I have done with my Pocket Preceptor. I've gone ahead and shown people how to increase their confidence, to increase their skills, Well, thank you. Thank you, BNG. I appreciate that. Um, you can go ahead and create an online education program, which is what I've done. I have clients who I have worked with, helping building their confidence and their skills, also teaching entrepreneurs how to use their nursing knowledge and start nurse-based entrepreneurship ventures. So you could go ahead and offer lessons. You can also offer services such as NCLEX prep. That's a major one, especially working with higher education and students in higher education. They're often looking for different ways to pass their certification exam. So you can go ahead and do that, whether that is for the NCLEX or whether that is for the nurse practitioner certification exams. You could go ahead and do that. Online recently, we've also been seeing about mobile IV therapy businesses, whether you can start an IV hydration where you can administer IV hydration, also administer B shots like vitamin B12 shots. Those are also different options for you as well. Lastly, what you could do is medical writing and content creation. I actually have a really great friend who does this and is generating income from this, where she's blogging and creating a lot of content around medical and healthcare services. So these are different ways that you can generate income. Again, it's nothing that you haven't heard before, but perhaps you need someone to give it to you in a different frame, in a different way. You have way more knowledge and expertise than you think. And so I want us to learn how to shift our minds away from depending on other people to provide that income for us and start to learn how to use the knowledge and the God-given talents that we have in order to generate money for our family and for ourselves and to enjoy the experiences that we want. So thank you for coming on tonight. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you, BNG. Thank you, Salima. Thank you guys for coming on this live. I really appreciate your support. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions that you want me to go over. I do plan on coming on here live every day. So go ahead and put in the comments what it is that you'd like me to talk about so I could curate it more towards your area of engagement. So thank you again. Go ahead and sign up for my mentorship if you want to build your confidence and your skills as a new nurse. Have a good night.